If you're posting videos and not getting leads, then there's one thing that you're missing behind your content, and that is a strategy. Today, I'm going to show you that exact strategy on how to get 10 plus leads organically without having to spend money on ads. One of the biggest problems that I see creators and business owners make is that they treat content like it's purely entertainment. Now, there's a time and place for that, but for people selling a product, you have to think of it as something more than just entertainment. You have to think of it as a lead generating asset. You don't need more posts. You don't need to post 30 times a day. You need a structure and a strategy in order to reach the right people that you're trying to reach. Now, let me go ahead and break this down. First off, the videos that you make, you have to call out pain points, not generic tips, not inspiration, pure pain. For example, one I would use would be titled, Why Your Content Isn't Getting You Any Clients. Now, whenever you hear that, immediately sets off a pain point and a trigger point because I've experienced the same thing before, so I know exactly how it feels. This type of video immediately stops them in their tracks because you've penetrated a part of their soul that they've been struggling with, and you have the solution to their problem. This is going to speak to your ideal client, and that's exactly what you want. And that's where our 3-step process comes into play, with number 1 being research. You've got to research your ideal client who you want to be seeing your videos, and you have to make sure you know every single thing about them. Where they live, what kind of sports do they like, what kind of clothes do they like to wear, what are the pain points that you're trying to solve for them. The more insiders information that you have on the ideal client, the more likely you're going to be able to speak directly to them. Now, research doesn't just apply to your ideal client profile, but it also applies to what types of platforms and what types of formats. So are you going to be posting reels? Are you going to be posting YouTube videos? Whatever it is, it could be a blog post. You have to put it in a format that is most likely to reach the person that you're trying to reach. So if it's somebody who is in their mid 70s you're trying to reach, then they're probably going to be more likely on articles on the news, like blog style posts, as opposed to watching a YouTube video. Step 2 is going to be your idea generation. Now, utilize tools like ChatGPT, GetPoppyAi, which is going to be in the description if you're interested in Poppy. You're going to go and find pieces of content that are performing fairly well because you can already see, based on the numbers and the views and the likes and the shares, all of it, especially on Instagram and YouTube, you can see what's already working and apply it to your own situation. And then take those ideas, use AI to come up with things that are in your voice and your words. And the 3rd step in the process is make sure to always have some sort of call to action, where whether it's subliminal or very obvious. So like it could be a link in the description. You could not even talk about it, but make sure to have something where they can scroll down and click in order to work with you or buy your product. I don't know how many times I've been on a YouTube video and I'm like, man, I would love to work with these guys. Went to the description, didn't have a way to connect with them, and so I lost interest immediately right then and there. And as soon as they're watching your content, you need to give them immediate access to buy your product or your service, whatever it is. This ups your conversion rate significantly. Now, whenever you're creating these call to actions, it needs to be low friction and low risk. They don't want to be sold to, and they don't want to feel like they're going in too deep over their heads. And so whatever it is, if it's downloading a free ebook, if it's a lead magnet of some sort, those are low risk, high reward items in exchange for an email address, phone number, and their name. And as soon as you get this info, it gives you an opportunity to convert them into a client. Now, there's systems and ways you can do this, which we'll discuss later. And if you've ever been to one of our challenges, we're actually having one come up at the end of April. So if you're watching this, link in the description if you want to join a 5-day challenge to push you to the next level if you're an entrepreneur or creative. And really quick, it's just 5 days on that challenge. We're going to meet once every single day. We're going to give you assignments, tips, and all the strategies that we actually use here at Howdy Media as well as for all of our consulting clients. There's many tools that you can use, including things like DM automation, email drip campaigns. All these things can be utilized in order to reach out as quickly as possible and to stay in touch with them. For example, if you've ever seen one of my posts on Instagram, often I'll put up a post and I'll have the word, comment the word howdy, or comment the word podcast, and I'll send it directly to you. Boom, immediately a DM gets sent to their profile from me, and it looks like it's me. Every single person I've talked to thinks that I'm messaging them directly, as well as commenting and replying to their comment immediately. And so this just creates a little moment of like impressiveness and astonishing like feeling and emotion that gets stirred up and creates a positive emotion and attachment to your face and your brand. So again, if you're watching this and you're struggling with all the things that we've talked about with systems, strategies, and what to actually post online to get clients from your content, then like I said earlier, this challenge is for you. This is for entrepreneurs and creatives who are wanting to level up their brand and utilize these systems in order to make the most amount of money as possible. So I hope you liked today's video. I hope it helped you get a little bit of a grasp on what to do moving forward. Make sure to leave a comment of something you've learned, and we'll see you guys in the next one.